Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge. So this video is brought to you by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, use SeatGeek, use code Hodge, which is my last name, and get $20 off your tickets. Now, this is for any event in the entire world. It doesn't have to be a wrestling show. Also, first-time orders only. So if you used SeatGeek before, make a new account. You can still use my last name, code Hodge, and save $20 freaking off of your tickets. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to jump into this with the first news story of the day. This one's a very big one. I'm excited. I'm pumped for this. Hopefully you guys are too. It's about Survivor Series. So if you guys have not heard, and most of you I know have heard because this is a press release from the WWE, they have pretty much announced that Survivor Series this year is going to be a lot more exciting than it has been the past few years. And this is something I've been saying for a while. They need to switch something up. They need to make something more exciting. Someone could make something different, just something unique for the Survivor Series pay-per-view, because Survivor Series in the past few years has kind of got a little on the boring side. And I hate to use the word, I hate to use the B word, boring, but at the same time, you know, just a tag match, it's like, yeah, and the whole Raw versus SmackDown thing isn't really like the big deal like it used to feel like it is. So they gotta do something to make this thing more exciting. And Triple H has done that. Triple H has announced today that Survivor Series this year will be WarGames. WarGames, this crazy matchup from NXT. If you don't watch NXT, it's a crazy matchup. So there's not one wrestling ring like we're used to. There's two wrestling rings and a steel cage surrounding both wrestling rings together. You're inside of this weird like structure with two rings and everything. And it's just like, the set alone just looks phenomenal. Not counting the cool matchups, the cool different kind of stunts and crazy things you can do inside of this structure. Like, this is great. This makes Survivor Series like elevated so much higher than it normally was. And I will be at Survivor Series in Boston. I'm super excited to go. I'm super excited to see the structure in person and watch this matchup in person. But yeah, this is official directly from the WWE. This year, they are doing WarGames. They're having two WarGame matches, a men's WarGame match and a women's WarGame match inside of this structure. And this is going to be absolutely crazy. And I cannot wait to see this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so that's the only confirmed thing we're going to talk about today. So go and get your juice boxes out. Get your juice boxes ready, because ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. Alright, the first rumor of the day will be about the rated R superstar. This will be about Edge. So Edge is like injured or like wrote off of TV or whatever. And I reported this like last news episode. I'm like, Edge, he's not actually injured. They're just doing kind of like a storyline thing to write him off TV so he can have a bit of a break. Because Edge, believe it or not, is not a full-time wrestler. As much as he has been there busting his ass, he is actually not a full-time wrestler, so he's not going to be there all the time. So how long is he going to be gone? Well, I have that answer for you now. It's actually not as long as you could even guess. It's just until like literally like next week or like the week after, because that is when Extreme Rules is going to be. I think it's like 2 weeks away. So yeah, he's just taking a few weeks off. He's not going to be gone long. Edge will be wrestling at Extreme Rules, so yeah, that's not a very long break or hiatus at all, but I guess just enough not to be considered actually full-time. Alright, the next rumor is about Elias, or Ezekiel. So basically, Ezekiel is injured. He's been wrote off TV by Kevin Owens. He's been gone for a little while. So what's the update? Well, the backstage, I don't want to say rumor, but the backstage like internal list of wrestlers that they can use for storylines and stuff. The name Ezekiel has been crossed out. They can no longer use Ezekiel for anything. The name that's been replaced in the spot Ezekiel was in is Elias. So it looks like his twin brother, or himself, depending what side of what you believe is happening. But basically, Elias is coming back. Elias is going to be wrestling and hopefully playing guitar and doing his concerts again. Elias was a big attraction for me because I'm a guitar player, I'm a wrestling fan, so it really spoke to me. I really enjoyed the Elias character. It looks like Elias character is coming back full-time. Elias will be on that list of people they can use for storylines and stuff, and Elias should be back here soon because they're not the same person. Therefore, it's not like he's injured, they have to wait for to bring him back. They bring him back immediately because Elias is, Ezekiel, you know, they're definitely not in any way the same person. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next rumor of the day. The next rumor of the day will be about Bray Wyatt. Potentially. So basically, they've been doing this weird thing at live events just for the crowd there. And this is not just a one-off thing. This has happened multiple times. The first occurrence of this was this past Friday on SmackDown. They had the lights go off on the crowd, and then they started playing this very eerie song, White Rabbit, right? And Then it's just like the black, and then everyone's on a cell phone. It's kind of looking like a Bray Wyatt thing. Then out of nowhere, the red lights come on, and then they go off, and they come back on TV because that was just for the commercial for the crowd there. It's like, what in the hell was that? That was a Friday on SmackDown. Then on Saturday, they did a house show. They did the same exact thing. The lights went black, they had the song play, then red lights at the end, okay? That happened Saturday on a house show. Then Sunday at a house show, it also happened, the same thing, lights out, the song, red lights at the end of it, and then here we are Monday, they might be doing it for Raw as well, but this is kind of like, what in the hell is going on? This is kind of like a Bray Wyatt thing, but then it kind of is like, or is this a Karrion Kross thing? Because Karrion Kross, you know, his name in Lucha Underground, when he wrestled for Lucha Underground like a few years back, his name was the White Rabbit. So this is interesting. It could be, and more than likely is a thing for Karrion Kross, or maybe it's a thing for Bray Wyatt. It kind of fits his theme. The red lights definitely fit his theme, and the you know, when the lights are out and all the cell phones around the arena, that definitely gives you the vibe of Bray Wyatt. So I don't know. I think more than likely it's probably a thing to do with Karrion Kross, but maybe, just maybe, it is something to do with Bray Wyatt. Maybe it's something to do with The Fiend. I don't know. I want the guy back. I miss the guy. He was my favorite wrestler when he was there, and I can't wait to see him come back to wrestling, if not WWE, just to wrestling, but hopefully WWE. But we'll just have to wait and see what they're doing with this, but they're definitely teasing the crowd about something. This isn't on TV. This is just a thing for the crowd. It's all over like social media. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. But it's very interesting, and they're really planting seeds for things and returns and stuff like that, like they used to do. So yeah, this is very interesting the way Triple H is running the ship. I enjoy it, and it leaves a lot of talk, controversy, a lot of conversation topic, and this is very interesting. So I'm very excited to see what this is going to be, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, the next rumor. The next rumor is about Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. Yeah, you're hearing this right. You're hearing this right. Literally, our champion, our tribal chief, our head of the table, undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, right? He has both championships. He has the Universal, he has the WWE Championship, he's a dual champion. This guy, who's going to take on? Who's going to wrestle at the biggest show of the year, you might as well say, Crown Jewel, because they're in Saudi Arabia. This show makes the most money. It probably has the most attendance, I don't know, but basically, it's a very big deal. It's going to make the most amount of revenue for the company, therefore it's their biggest show of the year, even though WrestleMania is supposed to be. But basically, this is for Saudi Arabia. The prince and the officials over there can request any match they want to request, and this will happen. So this is the backstage thing of we're just randomly having this YouTuber, Logan Paul, wrestling Roman Reigns. So basically, the prince requested this. This is something he wanted, and something he's wanted over there for a while is a celebrity fighting thing. Because basically, he wants worldwide media coverage of Saudi Arabia, and he wants like all the countries to have on their like news something about Saudi Arabia, so there's awareness. They're having fun. They're doing events. Things are not as you stereotypically would think over there. Like things are different than you think, and it just really wants media coverage. So what gets more media coverage than celebrity fighting or something crazy? And he just sees like Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns is going to get a lot more media coverage than like Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns would, because we've seen that before. And that kind of just goes all over the wrestling world, not over just like standard generalized media. So, I mean, it does make sense from that perspective. I mean, the guy's not a wrestler booker, obviously. It doesn't make a lot of sense, obviously, because Logan Paul is just like this new face on WWE television. He's kind of like new to wrestling and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, he's like in the biggest match of the entire year. Like, what sense does that even make? But basically, the prince has requested this for the media coverage reason for Saudi Arabia. So basically, yes, that's the reason we're just randomly having our tribal chief, undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, defending his title against a YouTuber, Logan Paul. I mean, you gotta give the guy respect. Of course, I'm a YouTuber as well, so he's kind of opening the door for YouTubers to do things. Even if they're not like wrestling YouTubers, they're just like high up YouTubers or whatever. Still, it's progress. But anyway, that's the reason that match is just randomly happening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is your final news story. This is our final rumor. The final thing I'm going to be talking about inside this episode of WWE News and Rumors. This is about the Viper. This is about what do we call it? The Legend Killer, whatever we want to call this guy. One of the best heels this company's ever seen, one of the best wrestlers this company has ever seen. We're putting this guy over right now. We're talking about none other than Randy Orton. So Randy Orton, he's injured. He's been gone for a while. He hasn't wrestled in almost 4 months. Last time he was in the WWE, he was in, kind of just like I don't want to say a joke tag team. They were freaking tag team champions, right? Kind of just like, just a fun kind of thing for the show. It wasn't like a serious, like, he's a legend killer, he's dangerous, he's a psychopath or whatever, like he was booked previously, which is just something different. It's always great to do different things. But basically, RK Bro just didn't continue because Randy was injured. He had very serious back problems. They were talking about surgery. I don't know if he ever got the surgery, but basically it's been 4 months now. So it's time to talk about the guy. When is Randy Orton returning to the WWE? When's he gonna wrestle again? Well, apparently he's still rehabbing his back and everything like that. There's not a whole lot of update, but there's some backstage talk about when he could be returning. And we actually have that pay-per-view for you guys. It is actually going to be none other than the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Royal Rumble's going to have all kinds of surprises, and apparently the Viper, Randy Orton, is one of those surprises to be added to this. And also a dual little rumor for you guys. We got another name that's going to be in the Royal Rumble, and that's actually going to be Big E. Big E broke his freaking neck, and there's some talk that his neck is actually healing quite well. There was talk that he may never be able to wrestle again, but now there's talk that maybe he's going to get cleared and green-lighted in time for the Royal Rumble. So that's a big maybe on Big E, but Randy Orton's probably happening. And also a name that may be returning in the Rumble is actually going to be Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes, I'd say Cody Rhodes is pretty much confirmed. Randy Orton pretty much confirmed. Big E is kind of waiting out because that's a very, very serious injury. He has to get green-lighted. I think Orton's is more up to him than it may be because he was wrestling with it and it was just like, all right, I'm going to stop so I can like rehab this or whatever. So I think Orton and I think Cody will be in the Rumble, but Big E's just a maybe. But yeah, Randy Orton, the Viper, will be back very, very soon. Hopefully Big E will and Cody as well. I wish them all the best. They're all coming back from injuries and hope the rehab and recovering from the injuries goes as smoothly as possible. So there, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode of WWE News Rumors. Let me know your thoughts on all these news stories and rumors in the comment section down below. But ladies and gentlemen, I am your king of vlog style, Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.